scared you, didn't I? A little bit of Pornhub action, you know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
Welcome to the After Raid Hours podcast featuring yo boy, JackJack1620.
Hello. And
myself.
yeah.
JayTi7N.
And then we also have a special guest.
Special guest.
My little brother.
Oh, what's up?
Terrell. How's it going?
T-Rizzle?
Yes.
Yes.
Little T-Rizzle Thorpe.
Stop.
Who doesn't
hate
even
that fucking phrase.
Shit's so stupid.
He doesn't even play Pokemon though.
He used to. So,
used to.
Terrell, when did you used to play Pokemon?
When did that come out?
Oh, 2016, July.
Yeah.
So I would say from July to December of that year.
So a long ass time ago.
A minute ago.
It's just like 5 months, man.
I grew up playing Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right?
Well, a lot has changed since you left the game. So our last podcast was about Halloween stuff. So since you left, there's been a lot of changes.
A lot.
Pokemon have costumes. They do more themes now. They do what I call trials. So a lot of new things they try to bring to the game. They try to like spice it up. And since COVID's happened, there's been a lot of adjustments to account for the pandemic, but people still wanted to play. So in the last couple weeks, we've had Animation Week. I think it just recently ended. So that was to kind of shed light on 5th gen? I'm not sure which gen, but they had one of the dudes that would show up in snapshots. So you can take photos now. People can photobomb you, and Pokemon can appear and other shit. It's pretty cool. They also brought out Lugia, which finally had Aeroblast. Aeroblast is a signature move from Gold and Silver, from the Game Boy games. What else have they brought out? So some of the adjustments they've made is they're experimenting now with distance trading. So trading wasn't even a thing when you played, but you can now trade now amongst players. It just costs Stardust, which is basically the currency of the game. And they've experimented. So me right now, I've experimented trading within Aurora. Is pretty much one place in Aurora to another, but it's not within the 100-foot that it used to be. But I can't trade to people in like Denver. I sure as hell can't trade to people across the country, which ideally, or across the world, which ideally is something that we want Niantic to do. Because you're able to battle now, something that was new. You can battle trainers basically worldwide.
Yeah.
But they still haven't figured out trading worldwide, which trading doesn't have nearly as many dynamics as battling. So it just seems like Niantic needs to get their shit together.
Would be nice.
Yes. So those are some of the things that have happened. But since COVID, we've had a lot of, I feel like, loss of participation.
Yeah,
just because it's tougher.
One of the things we like most about this game was like community, the community of it all. I'm pretty sure you might have seen, Jack and I had gone out and done a bunch of community day things. Got a table.
I told you about it.
Selling pins for charities and things like that, and making sure everyone kind of feels connected and part of this community. It's actually my favorite part of Pokemon Go, but with COVID, we haven't been able to do that. We used to throw a bunch of tournaments like once every month, these PvP tournaments in conjunction with a third party organization that helped set the rules. So this typing and these things are banned, so you have to come up with like creative ways to use what's available in the tournament. And that used to be a lot of fun, and we used to see a lot of pretty good participation in that. And with COVID, again, nothing. We've seen less and less of it. And they tried to go to a more, I guess, remote version of it. So you can, again, I can battle you from across the world. I can battle with my friends, but it's just like, it feels like something's missing, not being able to see these trainers face to face or be able to play with them and things like that. So on one hand, you're definitely seeing a lot less participation. I think the game's still going fairly strong.
Oh yeah, like I think Niantic they racked in $1 billion this year in revenue.
Oh wow.
Because there's a lot more people playing, but they've also, again, with all the new features, there's remote raiding. They have events that focus almost, feels kind of like pay to play. So in order to hatch eggs, you have to have incubators. Incubators typically cost money. but they'll release a rare Pokemon, so people are like, oh my god, I gotta get this guy. And it's not really that serious. One of the big issues we encountered in the years before, especially when we first started this podcast, was FOMO, fear of missing out. So we'd get that a lot of like, I need to get the shiny, and I was like stressing about it. And there's a lot of other players who are more adamant about it, like people who were spend a lot more money than I would probably on like boxes and shit to get stuff in the game. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those players since then, because they felt cheated or whatever, have since then basically retired from the game. So, but Niantic is still racking up money, and that's why it's kind of a shame some of these things that we would just want as a default haven't been brought in yet. And hopefully, with again, we're going, November's a lot of changes, and I think TikTok calls it like no nuisance November, which I was like, that's, they give it little themes, which I'm like, good job.
No nuisance November.
So just not dealing with bullshit, basically. So people are
nut
like,
November.
Yeah, no nut. That's no shave. Like, I would never do that. Like, I love myself too.
Oh, no nut.
But
got a nut.
The nuisance part I like, because they're just like people who are done with the bullshit. So there's obviously some tensions after the election and everything like that. Some people are for it, some people are against it. For this, we're going to stick purely to Pokemon. So in the essence of changing and things like that, there's definitely some changes Niantic can make to the game that throughout the year people have been just stating outright. So for a player who hasn't returned to the game, what was one of the things from over 4 years ago that was an issue for you? I'm curious.
I mean, when the game first came out, like it was like nostalgia to the fullest, you know? It was like, fucking I can catch live Pokemon, like I can catch a Pokemon. It's amazing, you know? And that was what got me into the game, and that's why I enjoyed playing it at first.
Okay.
At first.
Dun, dun, dun.
But no, what was like a real downfall for me was that I was going in there expecting more of like the Game Boy feel of Pokemon.
Okay.
Where when I go to a gym and I challenge a gym leader, I'm assuming that's going to be like a badass person with like an Onyx, you know? Like, I get to struggle to fight this battle, but all I did was just having to have what was more XP at the time. Mm-hmm. It was just purely the more XP you had. There wasn't really a move you did in order to beat this Pokemon. And like I said, this is like the start of it. And I haven't played it in a while, so I don't know if I'm even remembering this correctly.
I'm just kind of curious.
We could fill you in on what's adjusted.
But if I'm not mistaken, that's how it first started. You would catch a Pokemon. If you ever battled with anybody, it was just simply you had more XP than them. There wasn't really an attack that happened with it. And it kind of started to make it dull and boring at the time.
Okay.
Now, what I still laughed at was I was working downtown, and I would have people walking into my hotel with their fucking phone trying to find a Pokemon to catch. Like, oh, you know, I'm catching this Pokemon in the middle of your lobby, and you're just like, what are we doing?
Back in the day when people would trespass to try to get that one Pokemon.
Exactly. So it was definitely something that caught my eye, and I still wanted to keep doing it. But I think it was just over time, work got more involved, and as the game just didn't progress in to the way that I wanted to catch Pokemon and battle other trainers and people, I kind of just fell off of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, since then, you could definitely battle... Back then, you can only really battle gyms, which wasn't really involved. It didn't have an actual physical person battling you back. It was just a bot. Now, you have actual PvP, like Justin mentioned, where you can actually battle, so there's strategy involved, but still very much to what you're saying, it's XP and moves that are still the factors. You have different things you can do with charge moves and fast moves now that can give you some edge, but it requires some strategy. But again, there's some Pokemon that they're called meta, basically like what they'd be considered in the kind of the battle logistics, because they're like, basically from a basic term, it's just like Pokemon that are the top ranked for that fight. So you have a lot of people who don't think for themselves and just use whatever is meta that would guarantee them or give them the higher percent chance of winning. And they'll give it that basic moveset, but a lot of them don't have strategy, so that's where it can get redundant very fast. We have PvP battles, which like we were mentioning, you can battle worldwide, but people who just follow the meta are using the same fucking Pokemon over and over and over again. And so you're just like, what the fuck? The rewards used to be decent, but some of them are almost like
impossible,
unfucking achievable.
Yeah.
Like, I think today I saw the first fucking Lucha Libre or Libre Pika. Someone actually got that, and they're like, oh yeah, I just got it, rank 10. And I'm like, rank 10 is like, you're battling nonstop to get there. So this person who's trying to play it off like, oh yeah, I just happened to get it. I was like, no, you were battling for quite some fucking time, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to be modest, but it's not coming off that way. Some of them are just, and even then, Pikachu is just Pikachu. It's not like you can use it to battle Mewtwo and it be a boss. Because again, like the Game Boy games, you used to get Pokemon with movesets that can do like major fucking damage. This game, you have like different tiers of Pokemon, so you can't use 100% maxed out like Marowak in the Master League.
Yeah.
Because his CP only gets so high. So they're like, he's not recommended, he'll get destroyed really quick because you have others that can eclipse him.
Okay.
And so that's where it kind of hits these little.
So it's kind of interesting because like in that they brought a system in order to fight each other, because you know, being able to beat the shit out of your friends in Pokemon's been a staple since the original red, blue, yellow, or whatever, you know.
Yes.
Be like, yeah, my Charizard can beat your whatever, you know, and get the old link cables out and battle each other that way, if you remember that. But like, days. You know, that's been a staple of Pokemon. Well, they finally brought that system in. So on that side, you know, there's a complexity added to Pokemon Go. But then when you dive into that, you know, when it came to battling in Pokemon, there's like the usual people, kind of like Jack and myself, who just like constantly attack people. We don't like set up the screen and set up these stat boosts and all this other stuff. Like there's like some of those like really hardcore Pokemon battlers that like they're playing 4D chess and I'm playing checkers, you know, or whatever. But I'll still beat their ass. Point is like, you know, they bring in Pokemon Go, they bring in PvP to Pokemon Go, and then there's a nice complexity to that. So it's a new kind of fresh thing to do, but it's like still at a very simplistic sense. So like in order to battle somebody, you tap a screen, right? And if you get a certain move charged, you hit the charge, and then like you do something on screen, which might be trace the symbols or go in a circle or a wave or something like that, which is better than it used to be, which was tap faster, like for your charge moves or whatever. So there's a little bit of nuance there, but it's just still like, it's interesting because it's like, it's a complex system that they kind of slapped a very simplistic nature on top of. And then to Jack's point also, like, when he says meta, do you know what that means?
No clue.
So meta, it's usually used...
I'm in the same way, that's what I did. I was like, I don't know that.
It's usually used in, like, competitive games. So it's, like, most efficient tactic available, which basically means what the fuck's broken in the game that I can exploit over and over again.
Okay.
That's just better than people. So, like... You know, you heard of League of Legends. There's a meta in that, so certain champions are viable in certain roles.
Okay.
In like shooters, you know, in Halo, shoddy snipers are gonna blast your ass with one shot if I'm good with it, as opposed to me gunning you down with just like an SMG or an assault rifle, right? So that's the meta, right? If I'm really good, if my shots are on point, sniper rifles is gonna be the fucking go-to. And if you're anywhere within like 20 meters of me, my shotgun's gonna end your life. So in Pokemon Go, there's a similar meta. Like this legendary Pokemon is just gonna beat the brakes off of you, and this Pokemon just has a strong, albeit basic, move set. So when you go to PvP, if you're doing like the kind of basic league, you're battling the same fucking 3 or 4 Pokemon over and over and over again because that's all people want to do. So I don't like that aspect of it. I wish there was a little bit more challenge. And there was, like I said, when we did those tournaments, and we worked with Self League Arena, they would set a certain tournament type. So like this type is like poison, grass, dark, and fighting or something like that. You can only choose from those 4 types. You can only choose Pokemon less than 1500 CP, which gave you a special certain bracket that meant you had to kind of think outside of the box. because the way PvP in Pokemon Go works is there's 3 different tiers. There's the Great League, which caps you at 1500. So, like you're saying, XP, the CP button, or CP number. Then there's the next one that caps at 25, so between 1500 and 2500. And then the next one after that is pretty much endless. So that's Master tier.
And that's where you'll see a bunch of
That's
like
where all the
legendaries.
maxed out legendary.
Then they also added the Premier, which is Master, but it excludes legendaries.
Yeah.
So you're just using really boss Pokemon, but even then, after a certain point in time, the metas are then like the top Pokemon are then identified, and most people base it off of other people competing. Like, well, this guy used this, so I'm just gonna use these sets of Pokemon forever, and it gets boring. Niantic now, they started it a few months back, like they had a Halloween Cup, and right now they're like I think they just finished the Baby Cup or something, and they changed the CP range to like 500 CP. It can only be the first stage Pokemon, and it couldn't be, I think, like certain regionals weren't allowed. But again, that challenges people, and they forced them into it. There was no like, there's another cup available. Like when they ran that cup, that was the only battling you could do. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of, I don't know if goosenecking is the right word, but it just like funneled everyone into this one. It forced them into this.
Yeah.
They didn't get a choice of like, I don't want to battle in this fucking cup. Niantic didn't give them a choice.
Yeah,
which
like,
I
if
think
you're
was
gonna battle
really
this week,
interesting.
you have to battle in that cup.
And again, that might affect some people who are trying to get to rank 10 because they spent all this time and Stardust potentially powering, giving second moves to all these boss Pokemon that now they can't fucking use. And so that's where Niantic kind of throws these weird curveballs in the mix that I'm curious to see what the data is for it. But again, I take it as a trial. I always try to keep, like, find the silver lining and shit. Because it's very easy. If you go onto any Niantic social media for Pokemon Go, like, recently they just posted a picture of the Instinct lead, like, the main guy. He's playing... He's not losing.
He's fucking lame, dude.
He's playing with a little Elekid in some leaves, and it's supposed to be, like, a wholesome little cute picture of fall. And they do these random pictures of like, hey, look at us having fun with Pokemon in the virtual world. And everyone's like, man, fuck that. Like, I just want this. Like, why do you guys suck? And it's just like a lot of just negativity. Yeah. And it gets just kind of overwhelming. Again, it just reminds me, again, in the basic sense of like the politics shit. Like, people are just trying to get through life. And then, like, Niantic's just trying to put something positive out there, and they're just like, nah, fam, I don't want to see that happen.
I mean,
shit.
that's just, I feel like that's just fucking 2020 also. Well, I mean, it's been happening for a while, but I'm just saying, like,
it's
the
even
negativity
more so,
has fucking built up in everybody. They're just like...
Which is wild to me, because, again,
you can't be happy, I'm not happy, you know, or something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's what upsets me more, is I'm like, I know shit's going on, and this game is supposed to be an outlet in a fun way, for people who still go out exercising manner, like you're getting your steps in. Like I've actually been trying to get out more and walk and everything, just because again it's my escape from the house, which isn't really escape, it's just my break from the house, I'll say.
No, I try to escape my house every day.
Yours makes sense. Like but like today, so today is Saturday, or no, Sunday.
Wow.
So you lose track of time and space in this pandemic era. It was a Electabuzz Community Day. So part 1...
Wait, did you say Electabuzz?
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 Yes. Doing the noises.
Oh yeah, Electabuzz, baby. Let's
get it. This noise is great. But with that, we had the 5-6 hours, whatever, to play today, and then I think next Saturday is going to be Magmar. Again, this is a new thing. They haven't really done a 2-parter that's split by a week. So this will be interesting to see. But again, people are like, we already have a shiny Elekid. We have a shiny Magby. Well, if you got it.
Yeah, I know.
But like, those shinies are already out, and now they're just kind of bringing them back. They broke their cycle where they do like a starter and a rare, starter and a rare. They broke that cycle. And so it's throwing people off, and some people are like, and it's kind of nice because if you're playing all the time, it's a nice break. You don't feel compelled. There's no FOMO involved. And the FOMO is also just greatly reduced because, again, it's fucking 6 hours.
Yeah.
So you could be playing for the full 6 hours, or you could just play for the first 3 and you go and do your shit, or you play for 10 minutes like this punk across the table from me and get a shiny 100% without from his couch. Like, so, not all of us are that fucking fortunate, but what happens? Oh
my gosh. In 10 minutes today, so today was a community day, and you didn't get to have a community day, right? Because they came out after you stopped playing.
Yeah.
You know what they are?
A little bit.
Basically, every month there's a featured Pokemon. And the featured Pokemon, they're going to spawn a bunch. Usually they're either rare or starters, and starters are technically rare or whatever, but
sure.
They're going to spawn a bunch. They're going to be an opportunity to be shiny. So you know what shiny Pokemon are?
Gold.
They just look different.
Yeah. They're just like a special.
Yeah, the Twinkle's correct.
Special version, and they're fairly rare. Like I think in the OG games, like on the Game Boy and shit, I think it's like 1 in every 4,000 something is your chance of getting one. So. Okay. Anyway, so they're in Pokemon Go, and that's pretty much everyone's white whale. They want their shinies, and Niantic owes them the fucking world because they play the game.
That's how some people act.
Give me the fucking shiny immediately or whatever, you know. And some people do act that way, and like it's nice to get shinies. I'm like, oh shit, a shiny! Like, oh shit, a rat, but a shiny. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Pikachu.
Where did that come from?
I hate Pikachu.
Jesus.
Do you have a stance on Pikachu?
No, I second that. Like, cause how did Pikachu in like the Pokemon game be the strongest fucking character yet never evolve?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's trash.
Because 100% baby.
Whack.
Mewtwo.
But then he gets
intimidates Lugia. Like,
but then he
fuck out of here.
Like at the start, I think Lugia was the start of the next anime or whatever. At the start of the next anime, he gets his fucking ass rocked by like the starter Pokemon or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Pikachu loses all the time.
He has to be like Naruto in like the filler jutsus.
It's because he's in a coma.
Stop.
You ever hear that?
Yeah, I have heard that. Yeah,
that dark shit.
But anyway, Community Day has these Pokemon. They spawn in droves, and then like you get an opportunity for a shiny, and on top of that, they get a special move that kind of, you know, it's special for them on their community. So their Community Day move, when you get to battling gyms, doing raids, or battling each other, those Community Day moves are usually pretty fucking good.
Yes.
So they're highly sought after, and it's a day that the community can come together and, you know, spend time with each other. And again, with COVID and everything, it's been a lot more difficult.
And
so
also some just to add is the shiny rate's also increased.
Yeah.
So for Pokemon Go itself, instead of like 1 in 1,000 or 1 in like 4,000 or whatever, Community Day might be 1 out of every like 30 to 100. You might run into one. Some might there's been incidents where it's like 3 back to back to back, and you're just like, oh shit. But again, if they have good IVs, which is like its stats, so you have attack, defense, and HP. Okay. You want those to be really good, or to be 0 attack and high defense, high HP for PvP for certain leagues.
Yeah.
So it gives you more things to kind of search for. But again, with trading and things like that, and with community there, when we would do Community Day, we'd bring our Switches, so we could get people Meltan boxes, which again is a little special connection between the Switch games and Pokemon Go. And they're actually adding on to that with its link with Pokemon Home.
Yeah.
Which is also on the Switch, and you could put it on your phone.
They're trying to interconnect everything.
So to where you could transfer Pokemon you caught in Pokemon Go to those games.
Well, at least you're sticking with Nintendo. That's pretty cool.
Yes. And so I don't think Nintendo's ever gonna give up Pokemon.
Absolutely
if they did,
not.
that'd be a field day. But they do all this on Community Day, and like Justin's saying, like it's a nice day. Usually when we'd have Community Day, there'd be anywhere from like 100 to 200 people depending on the location. Like Wash Park, there might be up ends of like 300 to 400 people who are playing Pokemon, and it's just like swarms. Like when you first started, like how people were everywhere. Like the one time the world saw like unity in America, it was like when Pokemon Go came out, like everyone's like, "Did you get that Pokemon? Oh my god, let's go! Let's break into this hotel."
July of 2016 was the closest to world peace we'll ever have.
Yeah,
that's when Pokemon Go released, and that's when everybody was.
Everyone was out. Like they just wanted to go have fun. It was about adventure.
I guess I had a quick question for you guys.
Yeah, what's
okay,
up, man?
Shoot.
So, would you say that it's easy for somebody to get back into it? Because it sounds like there's a certain lot of complexity to the game now, to where if I wasn't like involved in it for the past 4 years, I would just be like.
I feel like it would be easy to get back into And the only thing that would be, I guess, overwhelming would be one, you'd probably get flooded with about 1 billion messages from Professor Willow
Yeah.
about certain things. Two, you'll see a lot of Pokemon you might not recognize. So did you played the Game Boy games up till what point, or have you played the latest ones?
I think it was after Emerald.
After Emerald. So that's Gen 3. They're on Gen 8 right now on the Switch.
Jesus.
That's nothing bad.
So
Is it bad that I kind of hate the new Pokemon now?
It's not bad. A lot of people
What do you
hate the new
hate
Pokemon.
about
There's
lot
just no creativity to it. Like,
What are you defining as creativity?
I mean, I'm saying it now. I'm saying it from a point of view of just like I clearly haven't done any research on it, but I could have sworn there's a Pokemon that was an ice cream cone.
There is.
There is.
And at that point, I just gave up all hope on
The
Pokemon.
Pokemon is
Oh.
in Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Well, is it yet?
Well,
not
and
yet.
see, again, Pokemon itself is based on stuff in the world-esque. Like, it takes elements, so, like, that version of the game was actually based, wasn't it, in New York?
That was the New York based one. That
So
the
it
fifth
was
gen.
based on New York, so
Not
they
know
have
that.
one that was, like, trubbish. The bag of trash. But again, the first gen we had Muck, which is literally just slime, or come backwards.
My favorite Seal.
Seal, which people
It's a
got
seal.
mad at. Ekans is snake backwards. Arbok is cobra backwards.
It is?
Coughing is just a floating ball.
Wait, what?
Like, there wasn't as the same creativity level. I think was kind of there,
Yeah.
but you're just seeing things that you want to consider. Like there's Litwick, which is a candle.
That's
It's a
actually-
ghost candle.
That's actually clever. I like that.
Yeah, right. But like, there's little different attributes to each of the Pokemon that once you get past that initial design, you're like, okay, what can you fucking do? That's where it kind of gets interesting. Me, I just was excited to see new Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I was like, because when I started again, they said 151 was it, and so I was like, okay, we're done. You know, like. They're just going to take it to different areas and I'll be able to find the same boys. And they're like, no, we're adding more. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then they just kept adding. And then I took a break around Emerald. Like, I was like, nope. Going off to colleges, doing educations.
What?
Educations.
What?
And then I came back into it once I think I moved in with, like, you guys, basically. And then got X and Y.
6th gen.
And then it was, like, Sun and Moon.
7.
And now I'm on Sword and Shield. And so I missed all the intermediate gens, which is something that he was in. So then I was like, what the fuck is this? And then he's like, oh,
They're so cool,
it's this.
man.
And I'm just like, because there are some cool ones in it. Just like how, like, because did you like the legendary dogs? Like the
yeah.
water? So there's some, not nearly as cool, but like, there's other interesting looking designs that I was like, okay, this actually makes up for like that silly one.
What would you consider the Swords of Justice? Like giant ass deer?
Yes, I think they're deer, except Teriyaki Boy,
Teriyaki Boy?
Terrakian.
Just big ass elk.
No, he looks like a bull, but he looks
yeah,
he
he's
looks
massive.
dope.
But anyway, so you ended on Gen 3. So again,
Stop dying.
With the, yeah,
Sorry.
you're good. With the newest Switch games, Sword and Shield, that's Gen 8, which means they're almost at 1,000 Pokemon.
Yeah. Yes.
There's a lot of
so many
Pokemon.
Pokemon I haven't seen.
Yeah, there's a ton. So, like, if you started right now, you'd be seeing some newer Pokemon. Depends on what event's going on, but you'll probably be seeing a few Pokemon you just don't recognize.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is that? Like, why am I even trying to catch that?
That would make it more exciting.
It
would.
could be exciting, and I think that's one way to look at it for a player getting back into it. That, again, for me, I played Gen 1 all the way through Gen 8, so I played Gen 4. I played the 5th generation with the trash can and the ice cream and the or trash bag and the ice cream and the chandelier. I think that's the one that gets the most flack for some reason.
And he's a really good Pokemon.
You know, in Gen 7 there's a sandcastle. You know, like
Sandy Gas. He's awesome.
it's like
I love that little dude.
and then like
Yeah. Well, because that one's based on like Hawaii.
yes, because each Pokemon
Is there a
game is
volcano one?
not a
There
volcano.
should have been.
Pokemon, but each Pokemon, each generation, each game is based on a certain area in the world for the most part. 1 through I want to say 3 or 1 through 4 are all Japan, different areas of Japan.
Yeah.
Gen 5, so that's black and white. That was based out of kind of New York. Gen 6, X and Y, I believe was like Paris. Gen 7, Sun and Moon, that was based on like Hawaii and the islands like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then this latest one, Gen 8, Sword Shield, they're based off of the UK.
So if we just like get like, you know, some Viking gods into here, that would be sick as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Well, some of them do have lore in like our like different like lore of the real world. Some of them follow that. So I think X and Y, I think, follows more of that, like the Tree of Life and things of that nature. I think it ties into it. Because, again, part of the story is research the lore of where they came from. Like, I think the original boys, so like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, and them, that's just like game lore. Others kind of follow real life lore to some degree.
So there are instances of that, and like you kind of see that more and more with just kind of the thematic way they approach the game. So like Gen 7 I think was the strongest with all the Hawaiian touches to it. So like and I don't want to bastardize the lore or anything like that, but a lot of the inspiration for what happens in that game, because it's not like the other Pokemon games. But a lot of the inspiration for even the Pokemon design and then why they do the island challenges the way they do and the fact you eat the malasadas and things like that, that's all just based off of like Hawaiian lore and Hawaiian culture.
Okay.
With the latest game, Sword and Shield, like the 3 starter Pokemon, their themes are, you know, they're in the UK, so their theme, one's a rock star, one's a super spy, one's a soccer player.
Yeah.
Football player.
Football.
Sorry, I'm not proper.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Proper, son.
you know, like, so, and that's all very, you think about UK, so you got the rock star, like, you know, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, all those old rock bands, you know, James Bond, hard to beat for Super Spy, and then,
True.
You know, football, soccer, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, etc. So, it's really interesting to see that, and I'd like to see Pokemon dive more into that. And I want to see, what I really want to see is I want to see Pokemon Go, like just deep dive into like the cultural aspect, because the idea of Pokemon Go is to get out and go, but like it's an opportunity to learn more. So, you know, the more we played through Pokemon Go, and it wasn't necessarily about just catching Pokemon in the wild, but we learned so much about like our neighborhoods, our city, like you know, I was pretty much raised in Aurora. I lived in Texas for a long time, but I came back and like after playing Pokemon Go, it's like, oh shit, I didn't know that about like this neighborhood. I didn't even know there was parks here. I didn't know that park was over there. I didn't know blah 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 blah. So like I took that as an opportunity to learn more about where I fucking live. And then when I go to different areas, different cities or whatever, I pop open the Pokemon Go app and I'm just like, okay, that's cool. There's a park over there. If I go over there, I can learn more about where I'm at, city-wise, etc. So I want to see them really kind of dive into that. I think that would be fun. I think that would be really interesting. But anyway, sorry to like derail, but to get back to your point, jumping in, I think would be pretty easy for you. Retaining your like interest is where I kind of question it. Just kind of really depends on what you want to get out of it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it for one. It's like one of those things. What is it? The sunk cost fallacy. Like I've done this for so long, or I've put so much into it, I can't just stop now.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
It's pretty much what it is. Yeah. So like even if it's a lost cause, quote unquote, it's like I just got to see it to the end or something like that.
Basically.
But that's not necessarily how I feel about Pokemon Go. I will admit I don't play it nearly as much as I used to, as much as I could. That's, you know, life happens, right? It's 2020. Everything just hit the fan.
Yeah.
But I still try to play it, and I try to keep up with it. And we do this podcast, but we also try to keep playing events. And I would love to do more community stuff again, like as a community. And we try to do it digitally and remotely. It's just hard to get people's interest that way.
Yeah, because the other thing that's kind of sparked again, one side that I'm glad we don't have to encounter are the people who are like kind of stuck up with Pokemon. Like there's a lot of newer content creators with PvP that have to stream everything they do constantly. There's some people who do it modestly, and there's some people who are just like kind of anal about it, and it doesn't make it as fun. When we've been to bigger tournaments, for example, and there have been people who are just like who don't want to talk and don't want to engage the community, and I'm kind of like, I want to battle you, so I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I'll be like excited,
And they're like, Mom.
no, they literally like walk away from me, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
They're focused on their spreadsheets. They're ready for the next battle or some
not,
shit like that.
They're not even trying to, and I'm like, okay, wait, this is.
So
Yeah.
they're
So
like,
similarly, it'd be like if you ran into those, like you're a hunter, right? You ran into those other hunters, and they say piss off, don't talk to me or whatever. They don't even give you the time. They don't glance at you.
yeah.
You know, it's like there's a network up here, bro. Like this is a community. Like hunters, like yes, I don't want you to like leech off of me because this is my hard-earned research and stuff. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like a cordial, how's it going? Staying warm? Ha ha ha! Nice catch,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
goes a long
whatever
way, yeah.
would be nice. But no, these players are just like, you're not worth my time, peasant type deal. You know, it's just like, bro, you're not. Who are you? No one cares. Like legitimately. But it is nice to not have to interact with those people more and more. But yeah, so like I said, retaining your interest in the game I think is key. It'd be exciting to see new Pokemon.
Yeah.
We do raids and everything like that. It's just like right now because everything's so kind of remote based still, it's a little hard to get kind of that flair from it. I think if you jumped back into it, you'll feel a lot of the same things you felt when you first started playing. But then it might wear off in 2 weeks. You know, you might just like, okay, I caught the new Pokemon. There's this event. That's kind of neat or whatever. Jack won't stop fucking talking to me about opening my gifts. I don't understand what's happening. What the fuck are gifts? You know, or whatever. You know, like, you know, it's not for me. Or, on the other hand, you know, you could just like throw that into your routine. You know, you get up, you go wherever, you have a Pokestop, you can spin that real quick, catch whatever's around. And then, like, so that's Pokemon Go's helped me a lot of the time in that way because I'm really bad at keeping to a routine, especially like I work from home a lot now.
Yeah.
And so like my routine has been shot. Because it used to be, you know, wake up, shit, shower, shave, whatever, eat breakfast, brush teeth, run out, you know, commute, go to work, come back home, do whatever. Now it's like my office is literally, I roll out of bed and I'm at work. And maybe that's not healthy. I need to move my desk. But either way, it's just like, you know, my routine is just fucking shot. Like, I don't do anything. So I opened my Pokemon Go app to help me keep on a routine. It's like, okay, I have to get at least a walk in this morning. I have to take the pups around the corner or something like that. And I'm not in, like, I can do a lot from my room, like in Pokemon Go, but I can't, like, spin the stops or fight a gym or whatever. So I have to get up and go do that. And that's my motivation. I'm just like, all right, I don't have to play a ton. I can play a little bit daily. I can just do that, and it keeps me kind of doing something while I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not a smoker. I don't really do other things to
Get out.
Yeah, well, just to like occupy myself with.
Yeah.
Even though like I tend to fidget a lot, I feel like I should be a smoker, but I just don't smoke.
I'm glad you do.
Does that make any sense? I don't know. That's kind of weird. But like I feel like I always have to do something, and I think Pokemon Go helps me with that.
Okay.
And see, like, for my other roommate, Stonewall, he just got back into it, and he's just kind of slow integration. He's like, yeah, I got like all this Stardust. I'm like, how much are you at? He's like, well, 16,000. I'm like,
It's a lot.
oh, goodness. Yeah, basically. I'm like, ugh. And he'll try to do trades, but I'm just like, if you're bored, because sometimes she's like, well, I go on the Facebook. So I'm like, no, just hop on the Pokemon, catch a few things, or like me, like if I'm cooking, I'll pop up on Pokemon, see what's around, and catch some stuff, and then I'll close it.
I mean, but like your level of Pokemon Go is like
Well, no,
hard to achieve.
no, it's not. Like again, I've been playing since day one.
Yeah, but we've been at like family get together, and I look to the right of me and like
Because nothing's happening.
Jack's on his phone playing Pokemon.
Nothing
Go.
is happening.
Could be hanging out with the niece or the family.
I do hang out with
Yeah,
them.
what the fuck, dude?
I do hang out with them. Don't try to paint me into some negative outline.
I guess one thing that would keep my interest, and sorry if I'm just jumping into this, is like to feed off the 2020. I want to taste defeat. You know, I want to get destroyed in Pokemon Go. Meaning, when I'm fighting somebody, I want to be like remember how badly I got beaten in order to get more determined to say beat the person. Because like I feel like that's what like
well,
keeps people involved in
PvP
things.
you can do at your level. So for your Pokemon right now, because again, I have your account.
I don't know if that makes sense, but like that's
No.
like
It kind of makes sense.
what catches my interest.
With
in sticking
PvP,
with
it
games.
does have that challenge.
Okay.
It's like
And-
anime protagonist bullshit.
Yeah, right? Like trying to be the main character here. Get out of here.
No one wants to be the side character.
True. Or like what? NPC?
Yeah.
Non-playable character. But you
Okay.
with PvP you can hop in now and you can experience that.
Yeah.
Because again the cap is at 1500. You can come in with weaker Pokemon and see what it's like in PvP.
You know
As you
Pokemon
increase your
Shuckle?
ranks.
You know the Pokemon Shuckle? It's like this turtle looking thing with this like big long neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a red shell with a worm.
He's
head.
pretty dope.
He's like the coolest fucking Pokemon ever. His max CP is like 400 something.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. Roll into battle with one of those or three of those.
If you could hang with him, you're god tier level.
Oh, you're pointing at it on the.
I'm trying to look on the
drinking
board
game?
to see where it's at.
It's on there. It's a
drink-
Shuckle shot.
Oh, he's right
Yeah.
there. So Shuckle's that one next to
So
Lugia.
3 over, second one down. Do you see
Oh,
the
wow,
Shuckle
yeah.
shot?
That's Shuckle.
That is from Gold and Silver. That's
Yes.
Gen 2. I assumed you played
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay.
That's Shuckles.
So that's Shuckle. Anyway, that's in Pokemon Go, and the highest CP is like 400 something or 500.
Yeah. But like you can PvP is where you'll get the challenge. Like me when PvP came out, that's all I did. Like cuz I was like I'm going to fucking get this cuz you can still get some decent item rewards which I think are more valuable than some of the Pokemon now. I would do that and then the other thing that they have that was new would be new to use the rocket battles. So you have these
Like
blimps.
Team Rocket
Team
battles?
Rocket.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So Team Rocket will literally come at you every 3 hours.
Am I able to make them a twinkle in the sky like normal? Like
You'll see the balloon shoot
that's
off.
pretty fucking sick.
You'll see it shoot off. You won't see a little twinkle,
Rocket,
but you'll see the
let's
balloon
look
like fire, like shoot up to the sky, which is dope. But you can fight them every 3 hours, and you can get shadow Pokemon. Those Pokemon are usually harder, and you could battle bosses
Because they're
with them.
tainted, essentially.
They're just dark.
They're
Like,
beat the shit out of.
like they're evil, and
they're
then you can
evil
like
now.
purify them.
Yeah.
Because they were manipulated by Giovanni and the Rockets, blah blah blah. So that's a cool aspect to just challenge yourself. So for me, like when Rockets came out, they can also be at Pokemon stops and they rotate every 30 minutes. So say you're at my house, there's like 5 stops over there. Right now there might be 1 Rocket that you can go over there and battle. Then in 30 minutes there might not be any. Then another 30 minutes there might be 3. So you can go over there and just battle them and you get Stardust, you can get a Shadow Pokemon, and you could just keep doing that to just keep some fight going. Not everyone does. A lot of just what we call like casuals, people who just kind of play sporadically, usually can't take them on because they don't have strong enough Pokemon. They often complain about it. But to me, we're usually like, don't be a fucking scrub. If you want to battle them, then you need to fucking get better Pokemon. Long story short, that's where community days and special events where these Pokemon are in surplus is great for you. And oftentimes there's also missions within the game itself you can be doing. So you have objectives, you have something you're working toward, which as a returning player, you have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because it's been quite some time since you played. So you have all that to look forward to as a returning player, which would make it, again, you would have more to look forward to than me, who's level 40, who's beat all of the missions. I'm just like,
Loser.
You're on level 18 right now.
you're 18. I got you up 7
Well, at
levels.
least you're legal.
But again, I've had baby counts within like 4 days. I got to level 30.
It's pretty easy to level now. Like when it first came out, like when you started playing,
Yeah.
leveling up was a bitch.
It wasn't
Right?
Yeah.
even ass.
It's a lot easier now.
I don't know if that's a bad thing though.
No.
I'm saying like
No.
I feel like people in
It's-
2020
it's-
really want
it's
to
again-
taste sadness and misery.
Well,
You know,
no,
there's like
they
frown
don't.
on
But
happiness.
they frown on happiness. But if it requires effort, some people aren't ready to meet
Give
that.
it to me, daddy.
They're not ready for that. Some aren't. Others are. Because again, there's some people hustling and doing what they need to.
Yo.
And again, if you want challenge and new stuff, Pokemon will have some of that, especially if you haven't been involved since then.
Are the Pokemon hard to catch anymore? Did I remember like
There's
I think I had
still
wasted
there's
some
still some
Pokeballs.
difficulty.
You're probably gonna waste.
And
a
right now
couple
you don't
balls.
have any Pokeballs. I used them all up.
That's just rude.
Nice to know.
Hey, I've been playing for you.
Fucking rude.
Oh, you know what's funny? I probably can't even log into that right now.
No, you can. On your phone, you can. You just literally just open it up, and again, you have stops by your house.
Got down the app again.
Huh? Yeah, that's fine.
That's a lot of work, dude. I don't know.
It's so much. Oh my god.
Hold up. Is it worth?
Again, it's something to just do to pass the time. If you're
I'm warning
going,
you right now, though, if you start playing, Jack's gonna nonstop berate you about opening gifts.
I bet.
I'll
So
just send
learn.
him gifts.
I mean, this is his way of getting me to play Pokemon Go again. Like, hey,
True.
Terrell, we're gonna send this message to you and be like, I'm playing Pokemon Go that way.
well, and Shamson's kind of the same way.
Playing
Like,
on your account.
like Shamson got
Fuck.
in,
Yes, I need to play.
got on it again, and he just does it while he's walking with his girlfriend's sister. Like when they go for walks, so I just pop open a Pokemon, play, and then they're done.
Walking with his girlfriend's sister.
Like him, his girlfriend, and his
sound
girlfriend's
kinda-
sister all go.
Oh, so he just zoned
Exercise.
out of everything he's doing. I thought what were we talking?
Huh?
He's zoned out of everything he's supposed to be focusing on.
He lives with his girlfriend, so it's, like it's not anything.
that's cool.
It's not anything major.
That's me just being a dick. I'm sorry.
No.
No,
Yeah,
it-
it's like you taking it to like extremes.
Extremes. I thought it kind of memey. It does sound questionable when you're like when he's walking with his girlfriend's sister.
Oh no! Like they're all together playing and doing shit. Like
Because so his girlfriend's sister plays the game as
Yeah.
well.
The
So that
girlfriend
was.
doesn't.
no, the
No.
girlfriend does, I believe.
Annie plays?
I think she does.
No.
I think she does. But I think Shamson got in it more because he was raised with Pokemon, so he's like, okay, I guess I'll get into this.
Was he?
Yeah, he played Pokemon.
Yeah, like.
It's just one of those things where you don't have to, again, be fully invested. I give Justin shit because, again, I see him often. And I was like, dude, just open up your gifts. Don't
If I open up your gift, it's a blessing. Okay, don't worry
shut
about
the
it.
fuck up.
Take it as that.
The reason why is because the other thing that's new is you can add friends.
Okay.
So when you send gifts, it's just free items that you get. So you don't have to always go to stops, even though it's good to go to them. We're at a friend level to where we can become lucky friends, which gives, if we trade Pokemon, they increase IV or change IV to
Yeah.
improve, and it's cheaper to power them. Which again, Stardust is the fucking money of this game, like in the game itself, aside from your actual physical monies that you need to power Pokemon and do shit with. So if you find a way to get less, which Lucky can get you, that's better. Like you watching me trade amongst the accounts, some of them had this little cool goldish glow to them. Here, I'll show you with all the Electabuzzes like this. Ooh, pretties. It's cheaper to power him up as opposed to this one. It's half the cost. So there's some benefits there. And again, having friends you could trade with helps. And so if you go play together, you trade together, you guys can get better Pokemon together at the same time. So that's kind of, again, another little incentive to socialize.
Yeah.
Obviously with COVID, there's a lot more restrictions, but they've made adjustments. Trade distances are tweaked for now. Hopefully Niantic stops being cowards and just makes it worldwide,
For real, though.
because there's no reason not to. Battling you can still do far away. I can send a request to you from your house, and we could battle.
Okay.
So if you're just like, hey Jack, I want the smoke, I'm like, bring it, bish, and we could battle each other. Like our friend Joel, who you met, he would do that too. He'd just be like, hey, I just want to battle because I'm bored at work, and if my game was open, I'd be like, all right, gang.
There weren't raids when you stopped either, right?
No.
Yeah.
So that's a whole new world.
Raids would be something cool
A
too.
new fantastic point of view.
And again, now they can remote, so if you know people in other countries, whatever, which again, you can get friend codes from everywhere, they can send you invites to raids, and you could battle from your couch. And you can be in this battle with 19 other people taking on legendary Pokemon. Or you could drive to a local gym that might have a raid, hop in, and there might be other people there, and then you just join in on the fight.
That's kind of like Monster Hunter. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, there's a lot like Monster Hunter. Now that I think about it.
So there's that whole aspect too, the whole other world.
That's pretty good.
So I know for this podcast we normally try to put out there into the world shit we want, and obviously just worldwide trading.
Worldwide.
Legit.
Wide.
We've wanted breeding for quite some time because you're able to breed in gold and silver. Breeding would be dope. They just need
it would fix a
to
lot
not
of
be
problems,
cowards and do it. To give us more incubators. They
I
updated.
would buy more incubators if I could breed. I'm just letting
Yeah,
you know that right now.
it's true.
Niantic. I know you can hear me, you cowards.
We always joke that there's like an intern listening in, because oftentimes with some of the shit we've like projected to be there, down to even just legendaries coming in a month, we've been pretty like spot on with. Not 100%. We're not like prophets by any fucking means, but we've definitely had some really fucking accurate guesses. And they're like, well, how would you figure that out? It's like, it's just, you look at patterns.
Yeah.
And what have they not done? Or like, the spooky event. Like, we literally called it the spooky event, and here they're like, spooky event. And we're like, out of all the Halloween words to use, you use that one.
Spooky.
We wanted costumes on other Pokemon, not just Pikachu, and they actually did give other Pokemon costumes, which is what we wanted.
Yeah.
We've talked about Megas. They brought Megas out, and because they had alluded to it.
He doesn't know Megas either.
Huh?
So he doesn't know.
He
Megas
does. Oh
either.
yeah, Megas is a whole other thing too. It's like Digivolving but Pokemon.
Digimon.
Yeah.
Digimon.
So as references go.
Digimon.
So there's a lot of other attributes that we've tried to put out there, and hope Niantic is listening. So some of them, like they did the trading stuff, just make it worldwide, like we said.
Yeah.
For 2021, I just want more intricate cultural events. So they had a recent cultural event. They did like a Day of the Dead, but I think it was only in like Latin America.
Yeah, it was only Latin America.
So, but I just want everyone to be able to enjoy that, not just people of a specific region. I think that region should get certain perks, yes,
Like better perks.
but I think it should be global.
Well, kind of like the old Safari Zone events or
Yes.
whatever, to where like they would have in that city, obviously a better event, but then worldwide they'd still release a certain Pokemon that everyone can finally get an opportunity to have a shiny one or something like that.
You like slid that the slowest you possibly could across the
Well,
table.
I hit my phone, so then I realized I had to lift it up. So,
It's a lot of work. The man's
Wait.
is tired.
I'm tired.
He hauled a whole ass elk by himself down a mountain.
A mile in the snow.
Literally.
So now you get to tell your children that.
Butchered it.
Butchered it.
Even butchered it.
I did.
Extreme.
Packaged it.
Yep.
Then packed it into a cooler.
And then drove.
6
Nice.
hours. 6 hours.
Jesus Christ.
So you're pretty good at body disposal.
Yes.
Good to know. But yeah,
There's a lot
so
of places up there, but yeah.
Jesus.
Impressed me so much.
yeah. So Justin, what are you hoping for the game? Because next episode we'll probably have to do some sort of thank
On the
you
next
thing because of Friendsgiving. I don't
Okay.
want to acknowledge Thanksgiving because of its horrible history, so I'll just say Friendsgiving because it's better.
I mean, sure.
Yes.
I'm with Justin on that.
Sure.
You know,
Or Turkey Days.
the shit we've already talked about, the stuff you've already mentioned, breeding and all the other stuff. I think the biggest thing I want from Pokemon, you're good.
You're fine.
Do what you want, man. The biggest thing that I still want from Pokemon Go, outside of breeding, is, I guess I can agree with like more intricate systems. I still want to see AR battling. You know,
Well, they have the AR to where now your Pokemon could interact with your environment just a bit.
I don't give a shit about that.
But it's
I
not
want him to come
nearly
and slap you in the face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
Until
like-
I can kick a Pikachu across the fucking map, I don't care.
Yeah. Wow. No, I'm with you on that. Like that's
That's
what
like the
Like,
dream.
That is the dream.
yeah.
Just
Like
to Ponta Pico.
like your character should suffer damage if you lose a battle.
Oh, like life force, like life points in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just like if you try catching a Pokemon and just like slap the ball back to you and it's like the glass cracks.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
You want to be that intricate?
Oh fuck! Make it like Pokemon Street. Like you remember like the street sports games like NBA Street and stuff like that, but Pokemon style.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hell yeah! No, but really though, I know they have the AR that you can interact with the environment, and I love that shit. I don't like this AR mapping nonsense for the
That is
quests.
such a waste.
But
Yes.
But
But
I want AR battling. I want a better battling system. The things I want most are a better battling system.
Mm-hmm.
I still think you should be able to do like gestures on your screen for different moves. Because again, right now, like, I mean, like if you swipe right or swipe a certain way or draw out like something, that's how you do a certain attack. Because right now it's tap 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 my screen, I press up. There's a little area on the screen for a shield when I want a shield during a. So if the other opponent is using a charged move, a stronger move, and then when I use a stronger move, I press a button and I do I cast the fucking spell, or whatever. So I want a more intricate system to where I can use maybe multiple moves, or have it to where things matter a little bit more. Outside of that, the gymming, I still want gym reform, okay? I want to be able, and this is to your point earlier, because gyms are relatively the same. If I'm defending a gym, I'm throwing a Pokemon on the gym. They changed it to where I don't have to fight 6 fucking Blissies anymore, or Chanseys, because that was a nightmare. However, it's still like, I roll up to a gym, I have to beat the same Pokemon 3 different times, or the same 6 Pokemon 3 different times if they're full health, and then I can take over a gym and then throw my own Pokemon in there. What I want is, I want to be able to defend a gym, like if I have a PvP battle opportunity, what I want me to be able to throw even a small team in the gym, say 3 Pokemon in the gym, someone comes over like, JayTi7N, he's the fucking gym leader, and you can battle him. Either it takes my battle data and it plays me as an AI if I can't, or it sends me a message in game, someone is challenging your gym, do you want to battle them? How sick would that be? I hit yes, and then I fucking battle to defend my gym. If I get the brakes beat off of me, cool, I lost.
Do you think that it would also be cool to have like a period of time before you're able to challenge said gym leader after that?
I think that, like a cooldown or something.
Yeah, where it's like you can't immediately go back like 30 minutes from then, or the next day be like, now you're banned for like a week from this gym. Or you have to take over 2 other gyms before you battle this guy again.
There would be some kind of nice little. It'd be a lot. I mean, it'd have to be. Their coding already isn't like super good.
Yeah.
That would take a lot. The problem I see with that is people complaining more along the lines of like,
this is the only time.
This is the only gym in town, because you have to remember, like, people in rural areas play this game too, and there's one gym in town, and I can't battle this gym but once a week or something. That sucks. On the other hand, it would help me get more coins easier, though. That's another. Add that to my list. I need more opportunities to earn coins.
Yes.
Outside of gymming. The coins are what you use to buy shit in the shop.
Okay.
And you can either do it by spending your actual money in game.
Shop.
Yep.
There's a shop.
There was a shop. There was a shop in the beginning.
Yeah.
Was?
Yeah. So you could buy like Pokeballs, egg incubators,
Okay, yeah, there totally was.
stuff like that.
I was like, it's
but
always there.
so you spend coins. The only way to get coins in game is to gym here. Now they tried some experimental shit in like Australia. Didn't go so well. So they're trying to revamp those systems before they do worldwide. But right now, the only way to do it is in my gym. So I have to defend my gym for 8 hours or something like that, 8 to 10 hours. And right now, the only way to defend my gym is throw the fattest fucking Pokemon I have in there and hope it survives 8 hours. And I can bury it from afar or whatever to make sure it stays alive.
And again, you could throw a Pokemon in more than one gym.
Yeah, I can do more than one gym. I'm just saying, in general, though, that's the thing. How fucking sick would it be if I could just put a team in there, like a small team in there, 3 is fine, and then someone comes to challenge my gym, and I can actually defend it, because there's a PvP system. If I can't, if I just say no, then it lets an AI take over for me and battles them like it battles a rocket leader or something like that, but with my Pokemon.
It makes it difficult.
Just a little bit more challenging than a normal.
And if anything, that'd be sweet if it was something for like
taste and defeat. That's Everybody wants
some people
that.
know. You got to read some of these Pokemon players. They do not like taste of defeat. They dread it.
They don't like
they dread
either. So I don't know.
Well, it's true.
Some of them just don't. Some of them dread difficulty or dread exclusiveness.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of them do. Some of them really dread just exclusive shit where it makes it harder. So like rocket battles, people complain they were hard, and some of them actually were legitimately hard.
They could be challenging.
Even for some more seasoned players, they're like, "Geez, this rocket leader is actually kind of tough."
Or like, remember when the Rockets had like straight Snorlaxes or whatever?
Yeah, those were monsters.
Tough,
You're just like, how am I gonna beat this fucker? And now, like, because you're trying out strategies, and when it was new, again, when stuff's new, that's where it's interesting because no one has a set strategy yet.
Yeah.
Meta.
So you're just like, okay, how do I rock this guy? Okay, I'll use him a champ. And it's like, oh, he has lick, which for some reason does more to you, and he just fucking takes your Machamp out, and you're like, like, what do I do? And so it requires you to think on the spot, and that's where, again, I like rocket battles, and I like PvP for those aspects, because, again, PvP, they start regurgitating the same Pokemon, so then my strategy now is to find a strategy to break theirs. So I'll find a Pokemon that's, like, no one's using, and I'm like, let's just try you. So, like, Baby Cup, Gulpin. Gulpin's like this little like poison bag essentially. I think I don't know what it is. It just inhales thing. It's like a poison Kirby, is what it reminds me of.
Kinda.
And he was actually really good because he has fighting moves and ice moves.
Yeah.
And I was like, how dope! And so people saw him and were like, oh, I could beat him, and they're using like fire moves, and he's just like, it just like punches them out, and they're like, what the fuck? But, like, I like that strategy because different Pokemon don't always have this move of their typing.
Okay.
So that's where it can get really cool, and you start experimenting. And then we were doing the tournaments where Justin and our other friend Dan were more spearheading that, but they would do our regular tournaments, but then we'd base it on giving a rarity kind of percentage to Pokemon that weren't meta. So if you had an odder Pokemon, you got a better score at the end.
Yeah, because there would be like a leaderboard, like, okay, this cup is fire Pokemon, right? And the best fire Pokemon is Charizard. You know, everyone uses fucking Charizard or whatever.
Boo.
So, like, you check out that leaderboard, and then you would put together your fire teams and battle other people with the same Pokemon, with fire Pokemon.
Okay.
If they use the Charizard, they got less points than if they used, like, Magmar. Or if they use just a Charmander versus Charizard or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, so that person might get more points. The person that used the oddball Pokemon might lose, and very well could, because Charizard's the meta or whatever. But that loser, the person that lost, got more points because they tried something different. And so it was to encourage people to try something different, to change it up, to make it interesting. And we did those, and we had a lot of fun because we worked with Piper Inn over there off of Iliff and Parker, and they gave us like a $50 fucking gift card for the winner.
Yeah, we're like, bruh.
And that food's pretty fucking good. So there's just like,
it is. We'll have to go there.
Here you go. Here's and like I remember the first time they gave it to us, they're like, here's a $50 gift card. I didn't hear her right. I was like, 15, right? And she was like 50. Like 50. I was like, oh shit, you know.
That's for bringing more people in there, right?
I brought 6 people in there, man. So, but the idea was we're working with the community, word of mouth. They like the business owner, Jed. He likes helping communities out in general. So it was definitely mutual in that regard. And yeah, word of mouth and bringing more people in. Because no matter where we go for our community events, we're buying food, we're buying drinks, etc.
Yes, definitely.
But either way, like, you know, that was fun. So encouraging people to do something interesting, a little bit more curveball-y.
Yeah. And it's just a good way to get out there and like throwing the different tournaments. Not only that, but we get ideas for different events. So like, because of tournaments, that was one of our things for our barbecue event. And we had done the barbecue event the year before, but then we decided to change it up. And like 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? Damn. A year ago. It just feels like it forever.
I want to say it was technically last year, like 2019.
Yeah, it was. It just feels like forever. But we did like the pig
September
roast.
felt like a year in and of itself.
Yes,
so
very long month. We would change things up again to just kind of liven the atmosphere. And a lot of people for our tournaments, they come from Boulder, they come from other states.
Yeah,
people it was really well received.
And shit to come to our tournaments.
Nice.
You'd have a few people who are like, again, these, I almost want to say elitist when it comes to tournaments, but people who are just there to fight, and some people viewed our tournaments as like, oh, they're the frat boys of tournaments,
like,
and
they
we're
have
like,
fun. They don't take it seriously.
We
enough,
like to enjoy ourselves.
We could beat them easily or something.
And so some of us
destroyed.
Some were still really good competitors. Others could still hang, but it's not like Aurora didn't have people who knew how to fight. So when they got to meet people who were like, oh, okay, I guess I'll take this seriously now. Some of them were like, shit, like that was actually more of a challenge than I thought. Or others who were like, oh, I'm going to sweep them, didn't sweep us. So it all just depends, but ultimately we wanted people to enjoy themselves. And the people who came to win, some of them were like, you guys are actually pretty dope. Like, I enjoy coming here. We're like, we're glad, you know? And others who are like, I'm completely new to this. I've never battled a day in my life. And we're like, dude, come on out. It's fine. We welcome people who are new to the scene because we want them to get involved. And obviously it's harder with COVID. But hopefully if we can, as a nation, get our shit together, we can start to get back into a social realm again. Because right now we're not. Or a like person-to-person encounter instead of just virtual. That'd be great. And ideally, we want to get back there and have a fresher start for that.
Yeah, so. Eventually. But yeah, to your question earlier, which was, what do I want? Pokemon.
Yes.
Like I said, I want that battle system reform. I think that'd be huge. There was another thing. The coins. I think that was the other thing I was thinking about. Yeah. I want better opportunities for coins. But yeah, no, you know, it's an interesting game. Yeah. Come back, try it out. If you don't like it, blame your brother. If you do like it, you're welcome. So.
Nice. Oh.
No, but really though, it's it's fun. And again, we've spent a lot of time in it, and I love it. We love it for various reasons. Obviously, it can get better. There are things we want out of it. But it does things. It does a lot of things pretty good.
And I just like where it's taken us. Like, we've got to go to Chicago. We got to meet more people and go to places like go hang out in Texas for a bit and see other things, and then like see other areas and see how they're doing it is really cool. And hearing other people's perspectives, and again, meeting people in the community that we probably wouldn't have just met on our own.
Yeah, and like great. when you do travel, it's one of those things. Like it's like a language everyone understands. If they see you with your phone out, no matter where you're at, you're like, oh, those guys are probably playing Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, maybe they're just on Tinder or whatever, but like, they're also probably playing Pokemon. Because everywhere you go, even when I was in Europe or whatever, people were playing Pokemon around the city, and you're just like, oh shit, they're raiding. I'll just jump in and raid with them.
Okay.
Oh shit, they're doing this. Oh shit, they're doing that.
Like, Fresh, when he was playing, when he went to Japan to play, he's like, I'd asked him about it at one of our tournaments, like, how is Japan? And he's like, dude. He's like, you just go to the city and there's like a mob. So he's like, you just hop in with them and you're just battling. He's like, sure, I didn't speak the language, but I showed them the game. They're like, and he just went and joined them to go battle. And he's like, it was awesome.
Yeah. So it's a really neat way to be able to connect. So anyway, well, thanks for joining us, Terrell.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
It's been fun. And if you join, well, welcome back. And if you don't, well, go fuck yourself, dude. It doesn't matter. Nah, for real. It's all good. You got anything else, Jack?
No, that's it. Stay safe, everyone, please. And thank you.
All right, thanks. We love you. We miss you. Suck my dick from the back. Bye.
Bye.